I'm joined by Ben Wixie of Germinal company to tell us about what he describes as one of the best grasses he's ever seen in his lifetime. Ben, tell us a bit about this new variety.
This is Aberzeus. This has come through the breeding program at Aberystwyth through IPAs, and it's a step forward because it's a diploid perennial ryegrass. It's an intermediate ryegrass, but it's very, very dense. And it has huge yields of high quality, high digestible, high ME value forage. The nice thing, historically, tetraploids have been higher yielding grasses. The nice thing about Aberzeus is it's high yielding. It's second on the list compared to Abergain, but it's one of the highest grasses we'll get. And because it's a diploid, we've got the ability to carry cows grazing on it, rotationally grazing, and that thick sward will give you that ability to withstand the grazing.
So let's move on to some of the other things you have here, Ben, if we may. Now, with the pound weakening to one of its lowest levels for many years, it will inevitably put the protein prices up, won't it? Are you seeing a growing interest in home-produced protein crops?
Yes, yeah, definitely. We've noticed in the last 2 days, well, far more interest in what we can do with homegrown protein. A few different options for you. One is, of course, red clover, which has been around for a long time. Not been so popular in the last 10 or 15 years, but making a big resurgence now. What we've done with red clover and the breeding station is produce varieties in Aberchianti and Aberclaret, highest yielding on the list, but also that last 4 or 5 years. So we've increased the longevity with the persistence of it so that we can now put that into a mixture with some high sugar grass, high protein from the clover, and the cows are milking really well off that. But it lasts longer than the conventional red clovers have been lasting.
And it will also help reduce your nitrogen bill at the end of the day.
It is a legume, so again it's fixing nitrogen as would lucerne, but this is fixing nitrogen about 150 kilograms per hectare per year, and the nodules on that are trapping nitrogen all the time, then dying and releasing that nitrogen each year to the crop. So it's not just as the crop gets ploughed under, continuing through the life of it, it's releasing nitrogen.
Now, I believe you've got 1 or 2 developments in the pipeline, particularly with clover, which will interest people in due course, I think.
Yes, we are a few years away from bringing this to the market, but we're working very hard on breeding stoloniferous clovers. So red clover has a taproot. It grows where the seed falls, and the taproot goes down in a long column. What we're trying to breed now is red clovers that have stoloniferous, so they creep. Now, there are problems we've got to cover. There are problems we've got to face up to. Bloat could be an issue, but we're working on that with PPO and other bits and bobs. So we could have a much higher yielding red clover that has a longevity of 4 or 5 years that we could then start to put into a grazing lay. And that then really is a step forward in terms of protein forage.
All right, thank you very much, Ben.
Okay, thank you.